Will Sami Zayn face Roman Reigns? What are the plans for AJ Styles, Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt? We are talking the show of shows. We are talking WrestleMania. It is 2 months away, and between what's going on backstage, between storylines and of course hints at the Royal Rumble, I have put together a 14-match card for the event that actually does not feature certain big names like AJ Styles, Alexa Bliss and Damian Priest. We are starting just with the pre-show matches. One for each pre-show. The pre-show is likely to be 2 hours long this year. The men's battle royal for the first, the women's battle royal for the second, just to get the pre-show underlined out of the way. Plenty more to come on this one, because next I want to talk about the plans for Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar has been rumoured to face Gunther for a while now, but that is not where I see that going. Gunther will feature a little later. Instead, the clearest indication of his path was on Monday Night Raw, which featured Bobby Lashley but did not feature Brock Lesnar. Brock is now going to vanish again for a little while and will likely pop up at the Elimination Chamber, to wrestle with Bobby Lashley and ensure a match against Bobby Lashley for WrestleMania. Bobby Lashley is expected to be the heel in this one, and that will be where we see the formal return of the Hurt Business. Seth Rollins up next. He will not be competing in any championship matches. If you watch the Royal Rumble, you probably guessed it. Seth Rollins will be taking the celebrity bullet this time round and will be facing Logan Paul. That said, a lot of people have been very impressed with Logan Paul and find his high-flying style would actually really fit with Seth Rollins. Logan Paul has already had a championship match against Roman Reigns. It did receive rave reviews. We did see the moment with the clash between Logan Paul and Ricochet at the Royal Rumble. We know what he can do. He knows what he can do. And I think between him and Seth Rollins, we will probably get a very high quality match. Not one that a lot of people watch again, but one that I'm sure a lot of people will really enjoy. Think back to Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville. It was a very fun match. Next up, let's talk women's tag team titles. I have 4 women's matches on this card, 2 of which are for world titles, 1 of which is non-title. This tag team championship match is a triple threat. I have Damage Control, that being Io Sky and Dakota Kai, defending the women's tag team championships against, firstly, Liv Morgan and Tegan Nox. Liv Morgan is someone that the WWE really want to make sure gets onto the WrestleMania main card, but also against Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Ronda Rousey will not be challenging for a world championship at this year's WrestleMania. She will not be challenging Bianca Belair, and as we already know, she will not be challenging Charlotte Flair. Ronda Rousey, when she returned to the WWE a year ago now, made it very clear that she wanted to work alongside Shayna Baszler, potentially in a feud, but more likely in a tag team position. The booking since then has all been for world championships, but that has not been her call. She very much wants the tag team championship run alongside Shayna. Moving on then, let's talk Edge, another big name from days gone by and a big name right now as well. Edge will face off against Finn Balor, essentially for control of Judgment Day, but without actually being for control of Judgment Day. Judgment Day seem most likely to move to SmackDown in the upcoming WWE draft, away from Edge, who will be remaining on Raw. So this will be the big one that actually finishes off the feud. It will be the eye for an eye match of Edge versus Finn Balor, and of course, in typical WWE style, this will be the Hell in a Cell. There's been rumours of Edge versus Finn Balor in a cell for a while now. If there's going to be a Hell in a Cell match, this will be the one. You might as well make it a big spectacle. You can't just have classic wrestling matches at WrestleMania. Let's make this one big. Let's go Edge versus Finn Balor. We have a non-title match. Becky Lynch taking on Bayley. Now, the original plan for WrestleMania was Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey. This was something being very hard pushed by Vince McMahon, but there's been a clear pivot made by Triple H, and in many ways a clear pivot made between Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey as well. The appetite is not there for the singles match. There is an appetite, however, for Becky Lynch versus Bayley. This feud has already begun. We may see some element of it in Elimination Chamber. However, the Elimination Chamber card is starting to fill up, built of course around the idea of Roman versus Sami Zayn, and Roman moving on, leaving Sami Zayn behind. Becky versus Bayley will be a hell of a match. We've only really had slight teases of what they can do so far, but of course, if Damage Control are out of the picture, it does mean very comfortably that we can all see a great wrestling match between the two women that may well be, given Becky's history, match of the night. We have the Mysterio off, potentially a retirement match that will see Rey Mysterio take off his mask and walk away. Dominik Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio. One of the huge perks of Rhea Ripley winning the Royal Rumble is that she can now move across to SmackDown with impunity and do whatever she wants, and trust me when I say she's going to make herself known to Charlotte Flair as soon as humanly possible. Her Dom undoubtedly will come with her and continue the harassment of Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio has been picking up a lot of small injuries recently, and it is believed that he is looking to come to the end of his career relatively soon. He wanted to make sure that Dominik Mysterio got over in the meantime. It's literally written in the contract that Rey Mysterio signed with WWE that Dominik would be pushed, and he very much has been. Rey seems confident at this point in time. People backstage have told me that he seems happy with his latest run, but just wants to make sure that Dominik goes over on his way out. So I see a potential retirement match between Dominik and Rey Mysterio. Dominik, of course, would then move with Judgment Day to SmackDown and become the sole Mysterio of the WWE. Our first Women's Championship match will be for the Raw Women's Championship. This one has not been set in stone just yet. Bianca Belair will defend against the winner of the Women's Elimination Chamber as announced on Raw. There is one entrant in that chamber who stands above everyone else. That entrant is a new and improved Asuka. They want to ensure that this particular Asuka is perceived as a cut above the rest, and this is the ideal time for an unbeaten run rivaling her previous one. I don't think it will rival her previous one, but I said that about Roman Reigns, and here we are. Asuka, for me, wins in the Elimination Chamber, also goes on to WrestleMania to defeat Bianca Belair and claim that championship. We have the US Championship match. This one's been rumoured for a while and seems to be the biggest lock possible. Austin Theory is the current United States champion. Seth Rollins, already involved in the card, has been a contender. Bobby Lashley, already involved in the card, has been a contender, meaning that we need someone new to take on Austin Theory. He will be defending the championship in the Elimination Chamber. I don't, however, see him losing the match. John Cena is heavily rumoured. Austin Theory versus John Cena is where I expect them to go. And to be clear, I don't see John Cena winning. For me, this could be a huge crowning moment for Austin Theory and takes only one day of John Cena's time. This would be the perfect gift to a new up-and-comer that has serious potential. And when it comes to the United States Championship, John Cena has plenty of WrestleMania history with that one. Austin Theory defending against John Cena. We already know the SmackDown Women's Championship match. It will be Charlotte Flair defending against the Royal Rumble winner, Rhea Ripley. And I have Rhea for this one as well, once again helping to enforce the concept of Judgment Day moving over to SmackDown. If Rhea Ripley is a SmackDown Women's Champion, you really can't argue. Of course, in the build to this, Rhea Ripley is going to have to become even more of a heel, because right now, what she is cool. And that's a problem for the WWE. This is, of course, why Roman Reigns has been made bad rather than cool bad. They had to make that pivot so that people started swearing at him in arenas. Rhea Ripley is going up against a face Charlotte Flair, which is a very different world for everyone involved. In order to keep Charlotte cheered, she needs to be the worst of the worst. I don't doubt for a moment that she can make that happen. The Intercontinental Championship match, it has been rumoured to be Gunther versus Brock Lesnar. I don't see that, and I've been saying for a while on Spoiler Warning, for me, Gunther versus Drew McIntyre makes the most sense. Once again, I think Gunther may be retaining. Drew McIntyre is due a loss at WrestleMania, and just a big loss in general, and this would be a hell of a give back. There is also the potential for Sheamus to be involved. Looking at what happened at the Royal Rumble, I could genuinely see an amazing triple threat match competing for match of the night, probably on a different night to Becky versus Bayley, because they know that would be a hell of a match as well. We are talking, once again, 5-star potential for the WWE. They've been getting closer and closer and getting a few under their belts recently. Now is the time to really make it pay off. I definitely see Gunther versus Drew McIntyre. Personally, I would be adding Sheamus as well. There are 2 matches left on the WrestleMania card. The obvious one features Sami Zayn. We've been speaking about it on Spoiler Warning since I think August at this point. The Usos, Jimmy and Jay, will defend both sets of tag team championships against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. After that we have the draft. The championships will be split regardless of who wins, but that is what I see happening. Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Certainly this is up in the air more than anything else at this point. The Royal Rumble had Jey Uso leaving the bloodline, walking away, refusing to be involved in anything that Roman Reigns was doing. Sami Zayn clearly having sided with Kevin Owens. You never know. We may see Sami Zayn and Jey Uso against Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa at this point. Anything could really happen, and that makes for a very entertaining concept, but Sami Zayn will be competing for the Tag Team Championships, not the WWE or Universal Championships. Until very recently, the plan was for Roman Reigns to do double duty. He would be defending the WWE Championship against one person, the Universal Championship against the other. He would be winning the Universal Championship, but he'd be carrying Knox into the WWE Championship match. Rumours of Stone Cold Steve Austin being offered that Universal Championship match, rumours of The Rock being offered that Universal Championship match have been making the rounds, and there is certainly smoke where there is fire. However, right now the plan is much simpler. Roman Reigns will defend both championships against Cody Rhodes. I see Cody Rhodes picking up the win, keeping the WWE Championship, and in the draft being forced to relinquish the Universal Championship. Cody Rhodes is a top face on Raw right now. He will be staying on Raw for the future. Roman, meanwhile, will go without his championship, and he will have something to say to the bloodline as well when not a single championship is in their possession. A big omission from this is Bray Wyatt. I cannot imagine that Bray Wyatt will be missing from WrestleMania, but I'm hearing absolutely nothing as of yet about the plan for him. Personally, I'd be looking at a character like Karrion Kross, but even then, not many of these characters actually fit in with the Wyatt-verse. So, I'm going to suggest that at WrestleMania, Bray Wyatt will take on, once again, Braun Strowman. That is our WrestleMania match card. Let me know in the comments what you think the matches will be for WrestleMania. Until then, I've been Tom Colohue, you have been fantastic, and I'll see you all very soon.